Hello everyone and welcome to GCC News. I'm your host Chipper, and you may notice that I'm not at the news station, and that's because of some recent events that I will cover. Episodes will take place here until further notice, so please get used to it. This week was marked as the beginning of the HistoryScope server's dictatorship. A close alliance between the Weimar Republic, Kaliningrad, and the North Pole Order had been established after ties between the Free Territories and the Enclave ended, and Dark Melon declared the entire server under the control of the leader nations of Weimar, Kaliningrad, and the North Pole Order. They threatened death to anybody who opposed them, and they said they would squash any rebellion. 2 days later, on the 31st, both Denza and Algu were unbanned early, and Armaria was officially disbanded. Denza created a new town also named Armaria that is affiliated with the Bimecna state, while Algu created a new town where Armaria once stood named Devora and rebranded the Armarian Empire as Azoria. Algu, along with Spartan Creeper, rebuilt and reorganized Armaria and are restarting from scratch. All former Armarians have been required to reapply for citizenship, and the government has been changed. Later in the day, Arcelia, also known as Chantel, came back onto the server with 9 new alt accounts, and was seen using an axe named Property of the CSR that was once owned by Chipbar, and was causing more trouble on the server. For nearly half an hour, Arcelia was terrorizing the server, and seems to be using stolen accounts, as at least 20 accounts have been traced to Arcelia. The hacker apparently has a particular disliking toward Chipbar, blaming him for recording a video of Arcelia flying, and is at this point just trying to annoy people. Arcelia hasn't returned since this incident, but is presumed he'll come back considering his vast array of alts. February began with another new moderator, this time being Kiko, former leader of the SRP and Minister of Defense. As he was now bound by the moderator neutrality rule, he had to resign from his position as Minister of Defense, and he had as a choice between making the SRP neutral or just resigning. The president of the SRP offered Kiko's old position, and it is currently still vacant. Kiko proved his usefulness as a mod a day later by banning another hacker during American hours, and is supplementing Chipbar. Also on the 1st of February, Hype, leader of the North Pole Order, declared peace with all other nations and started rebuilding ties. This was seen as a good sign for the future of the server, although it was partnered with a peace agreement that on the surface looked harmless, but involved accepting the dictatorship as the rulers. This was soon spotted, and the agreement has since broken down. On the 3rd of February, the 3rd of February brought forth a lot of chaos. The day started off with the SRP and Weimar getting into a war because the SRP openly declared opposition to the server dictatorship, and this erupted into an argument on the SRP Discord server. The situation settled down, however, after it was pointed out that the dictatorship had no real power and the war with Weimar has seemingly ended, adding another to the list of wars that are officially still happening but in practice have stopped. Later on, a relatively unknown group known as the Knights started a war against the GCC and used the Egg, a roleplay thing stood by Pedro and Jacob, as an excuse to meet in New Vancouver. Fighting broke out unexpectedly and suddenly, and both Chipbar and Leo were quickly defeated and had their gear taken away. The Knights are claiming that the attacker Flen Q was acting on his own, however, and they take no responsibility for him. Chipbar vowed not to return to New Vancouver until his gear is returned, which is why I'm broadcasting from this island. The Knights are still attacking people and have even targeted the End Farm. Unfortunately, there's nothing people can do, but the other nations are trying to make an alliance against them. On February the 4th, it seems that Weimar has just disappeared. The town of the Weimar Republic was officially disbanded, with a raid occurring afterward on the base. Several withers were spawned there, and now the town is in ruins. It is currently unknown why Weimar was disbanded, but it is certain that it will affect the power balance on the server, and it will weaken the alliance with the North Pole Order. It is presumed the surrounding towns will fill in the space left behind by Weimar, and Kaliningrad will assume control over the remains of the Weimar Republic. Okay, that's pretty much all I got to say for today, so thanks for making it to the end, and hopefully next week I can come back to the news station.